this is Chef Mick from Tony's Markets. Today we're going to make risotto. I've started with a little bit of onion and a little bit of pancetta. Pancetta is like an Italian bacon, and it's cured but not smoked. So I cook those together until I get them soft, and then we're going to add riso, rice. It's Italian rice. We're going to put it in here, and we're going to let that simmer in the pot. And we're going to brown it just a little bit. Now, Italian rice is different than normal rices. The dish is called risotto, and the rice is called riso. There's several different types. The most popular are arborio, which is the traditional rice. And then there's also carnaroli, where they've blended the arborio rice with Japanese short grain rice. This is my favorite because it gets really nice and creamy. And this brand happens to be the best I've ever tried. We sell it in our markets. It's aged for a year and it's organic. It's a fabulous product. But get yourself a good riso to make this risotto. Not any rice will do. You stir it up here, and this cooks for a couple of minutes. And what we're after is to be able to see the pearl inside there. The rice grain goes translucent, and you see a little white pearl in the middle. That's when you're ready to go to the next step. Now we've gotten some browning on the bottom, which is good. That's developing flavor. We're going to add a little wine here and try to deglaze that a little bit. About a glass of wine, small glass of wine. We'll stir it and get all the brown off the bottom of the pot. That's just going to enrich your flavor up. All right, get it all stirred up here. The wine is evaporated, it's just right. Now we're going to go to our second pot, and here I have simmering stock. I like to use chicken stock. You could use vegetable stock, whatever you like. Put a scoop in at a time. Now the thing about stock is you want to get something that's very, very low sodium. I like the Glace de Poulet Gold, or the More Than Gourmet brand, because it's the lowest in sodium possible. Homemade would be the only thing better than this. We'll stir that in here. Let it sit for a couple, 3 minutes until the water evaporates, and then we do it again and repeat until it's done. Now after 2 or 3 additions, we're going to come back with some pumpkin, about 3/4 of a cup of pumpkin. You can use a processed pumpkin, or you can take one of the pumpkins we've roasted. I basically split it, put it face down in a cookie sheet, added water, and roasted it for about 30-40 minutes. You can just scoop it out right now. You could use it diced if you want pieces, but I would puree it. We've been about 10 minutes here, 10 minutes or so of cooking. I want to make sure that bottom is scraped really nice. We're going to add some spices to this. I've got a little bit of dry ginger, a pinch of clove, and a little bit of cinnamon. I've also got some brown sugar. And I'm going to put about half of this in here, a couple tablespoons, because I can always add a little more later if I like. Another variation, maple syrup would be really nice in here, really, really nice. So add that in there, stir it in, and just continue with your additions of stock every few minutes. Most of the time the packages will tell you the risotto cooks in about 15 to 18 minutes, but water boils at a lower temperature here, so everything takes longer to cook, especially things in liquid like this. I'm expecting with this aged risotto more like 20-25 minutes. And the rice is done. It's still just a little bit firm, but it's just where I like it, a little bit nutty. I'm going to go ahead and turn that off. Now, I'm going to add some butter to this and Parmesan cheese. If we were in Italy, we'd be adding a lot of butter. There you go. And that in there and stir it in. Now, if you wanted, you could also add a little cream to this. That would be lovely. Half and half. Or, honestly, up to a stick of butter. I just put a couple in there because I want to be responsible. Perfect. Maybe a little bit of pepper. If you wanted, you could add a little bit more of that brown sugar or maple syrup. Let's do a little maple syrup. Just a little bit. You don't want to get it too sweet because we've got the Parmesan going on too. The combination is just right. Now this is going to be enough to serve about 4 people. Make a nice first course. You could do it for a side course for maybe 6 people. There we go. You set it here. We're going to top this with a pat of butter right before we serve it. A little sprinkle of Parmesan cheese. We want to use Parmigiano Reggiano cheese. It's the world's best cheese. And then a little nutmeg. My spice grinder here. Finish with just a bit of nutmeg. And there you have it. A harvest pumpkin risotto with pancetta. It's delicious. You can get this recipe and all the recipes today at digincolorado.com. Let's dig in.